Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Mount & Blade Bannerlord and we're going to be taking a look at the Eagle Rising Dawn of an Empire mod. So basically it's a lighter vanilla total conversion mod for the game, but it brings the whole game, or it's designed to bring the whole game back into a more classical period. So a more stereotypical Greek, Roman, Egyptian, Dryasian sort of setting. So it's mostly just a reskin. I don't know that there's ever plans to make the map go back in time, but basically the goal is to make it fit better with the settings. So the setting of this is supposed to be a more ancient period, as a precursor to the high medieval period that we see, well, Dark Ages to high medieval period that we see in Warband. So this mod aims to bring that. And so what our video today is going to be is a top 10 best wives video, and we're going to be basing this one on how good of a steward they are, so their governor ranks. So let's just get to it. And if you're looking for a wife, the way to find them is to do it as follows. So the first thing we're going to do is press the N key and get into our encyclopedia, and from there we click on heroes. Then we can click on female because we're looking for a wife. We want them to be alive. Then of course we want them to be a lord or lady because that's the people that we can marry, and then not married. That's all the basic stuff, and so here you have your general list of all the women you can marry, and from there we can narrow it down even further. And so what we're going to want to do for our first one is pick Dryatic, because our number 10 one is Dryatic, and we're going to pick Ellis of the Buri, and she is our number 10 spot. And so she is obviously a Dryatic wife. That's the option there. So she's Dryatic, she's 22, her traits are merciful and calculating. At the beginning of the game, she starts at the age of 22 with a trade skill of 100, charm of 140, steward of 120, tactics of 0, leadership of 0, combat of 1, because she doesn't have any combat skills higher than level 1. So obviously she's not going to be a great warrior, but she will be a good governor because she's got a nice high trade, steward, and charm skill, and those are the important ones for being a steward. So that's Ellis, number 10. Let's move on to number 9. Alright, at number 9 we've got Chalia of the Sulpici clan. Her culture is the Imperium. She is 22 at the beginning of the game, even though she's 23 right here. Her traits are generous, devious, cruel, and calculating. She starts the game at age 22 with a trade skill of 101, a charm skill of 100, steward of 121, tactics of 0, leadership of 0, and her highest combat skill being 1. So again, not a great warrior, but an excellent governor. So Chalia takes the number 9 spot. At number 8, we have Acela of the Rakatai clan, and she is a Dryatic wife. She starts the game at age 22 with a trade skill of 101, a charm skill of 120, steward of 121, tactics of 0, leadership of 0, and her highest combat skill is only level 1. So again, she's not going to be good at fighting, not good at being a commander because she doesn't have any noticeable leadership or tactical ability, but she is going to be good at the non-violent type roles, and the key of that one being the steward or governor of settlements for you. She only has one trait starting off, which is impulsive. Again, that's not going to be a negative trait that really does anything to affect how good of a steward she is, so a solid option there. Her father is Ingolthur. If you want to get in touch with him to marry her, that's the way you do it. So Acela takes the number 8 spot. So at number 7, we have Zoana, an imperial wife who starts the game nice and young at age 20. She is part of the Juni clan, so quite a powerful clan in the empire. She starts the game with, like I said, at age 20 with a trade skill of 100, charm skill of 80, steward of 122, tactics of 0, leadership of 5, so a little bit there, and her highest combat level is 4. So not that it makes a big difference when you're talking about such low levels, but she does have a higher combat ability than the people before her, and leadership. So again, like I said, those don't really play a huge part because there's such a small gap, but at least she's a little bit higher. As for her traits, she has honest, which is the honor 1 trait, and cautious, which is valor -1. So again, neither one of those is going to negatively affect her as a steward, so they don't really play a huge part. Her father is Gnaeus Pompeius Lucas, so the ruler of the Northern Imperium, so she's definitely, like I said, a pretty important character in the Empire in this mod. And like I said, stat-wise, she makes a good governor. So Zoana takes the number 7 spot. At number 6, we've got our first Saka wife, and so this is the one that takes over for the Khuzaits, so the Saka is that culture. She is Korte, and she's of the Koltit clan, which you can see over here. She starts the game at age 20 with a trade skill of 100, charm of 60, steward of 122, tactics of 0, leadership of 0, and her highest combat skill is level 1. So again, not a fighter. I mean, you can train her into being a fighter, and if you're going with the Saka faction, I assume you're going to train her into being a mounted archer, but she doesn't start off that way. That being said, she does start off with pretty dang good governing skills. Her father is Kanujan, who is obviously part of the Koltit clan. She has one trait, which is cautious, so valor -1 again. Again, just not going to be anything that affects how good of a governor she is. So I find Corte to be an excellent option, and she's one of the youngest ones on this list, tied with Zoana at age 20 at the beginning of the game. So nice and young, you can have lots of kids with her, and obviously develop her into a much better wife as you go along. So that's Corte, who takes the number 6 spot. Let's go on to number 5. All right, and at number 5, we've got a Botani noble, and it is Withuin of the Aquitani. So she starts the game a little bit older at age 25 with a trade skill of 120, charm skill of 160, steward of 141, tactics of 0, leadership of 0, and her highest combat skill is level 1. So obviously, like I said, she starts a little bit older, but obviously starting at 25 is no big deal. Obviously still perfectly young and able to have lots of children. Her skills are quite good across the board, at least for, basic governing skills. Her combat skills are non-existent. Her father is Meladir, so obviously also part of the Aquitani clan. Her traits are generous, so generosity 1, devious, honor -1, and calculating. So she's got good traits. I find that she makes a really good spouse. I placed her nice and high, obviously because her traits are really, really good, but also just because I've married her in multiple playthroughs, and she definitely makes a good spouse. So, Withuin takes the number 5 spot. Let's move on to number 4. At number 4, we have Mela of the Oburit clan, and she is a Saka spouse, and she starts the game at age 22 with a trade skill of 122, charm of 80, steward of 142, tactics of 80, leadership of 80, combat of 105 is her highest skill, and that is in archery, with the bow, I should say. And so she's the first one on this list that actually has some combat ability, and it makes sense that it would be in bow, and she also has a good riding skill because obviously she's a mounted archer. Like I said, she's part of the Oburit clan. Gasukan is her father. She has 2 traits, close-fisted, which is generosity -1, and honest, so honor 1. Makes a very good wife, starts nice and young, excellent at being a governor, which is why she takes the number 4 spot on this list, but also a lot of strengths over everyone else we've talked about on this list so far. Comes with good armor, has a good enough combat skill and tactical ability to be useful in multiple roles. Definitely an excellent option. So that's Mela. She takes the number 4 spot. Let's move on to number 3. At number 3, we have another Saka spouse. This one is Yana of the Kharadit. So she's part of the Kharadit clan. She starts the game at age 22 with a trade skill of 120, charm of 60, steward of 142, tactics of 140, leadership of 140, and her highest combat skill is 120, which she has in multiple different things. Polearm, one-handed, two-handed. She also has nice high combat skills across the board. So Yana is another step up from Mela. She's an excellent spouse, has really good stats as a governor, but also has good armor, good weapons, excellent combat skills, all that sort of stuff. So great choice there. She's also part of the Kharadit clan, which is one of the best and most powerful clans in the Saka faction. Her father is Bagai. She has 3 traits, daring, which is valor 1, cruel, which is mercy -1, and calculating. So obviously, excellent wife, really good for a lot of stuff. Again, nice and young, starting off at only age 22. So Yana makes a really, really good wife. But that's number 3. Let's move on to number 2. At number 2, we have Liena of the Ordisi clan, and so she's a Dryasian wife. She starts the game at age 24 with a trade skill of 120, charm of 80, steward of 142, tactics of 160, leadership of 160, and combat. Her highest combat skill is level 180, and again, she has that in multiple things, polearm, one-handed, and two-handed. So really strong wife, really good for a lot of stuff, nice high skills, pretty much across the board, kind of the overall highest skills. She would rank as in the mod, she'd be my number 1 best overall wife. But yeah, Liena makes an excellent wife. Her father is Uldric, who is also part of the Ordisi clan. She has 4 traits, generous, which is generosity 1, honest, which is honor 1, daring, which is valor 1, and merciful, which is mercy 1. She makes a really good wife. Like I said, she's 24, so she's still plenty young. There's not really any weak thing about Liena. It's just that one person is slightly better at being a governor than her, even though overall Liena is the best one. So let's move on to number 1. And so finally at number 1, we have Sora of the Tarpai. So she's part of the Tarpai clan. She's a little bit younger. She starts at age 21. She has a trade skill of 140, charm of 60, steward of 162, giving her the highest steward skill of any marriageable wife in the game. Tactics skill of 0, leadership of 0, and her highest combat skill is 1. So unlike the last 3 that we talked about, she is once again really only good at being a steward starting off the game because she has no tactical ability, no combat ability, no leadership ability. But of course, her steward skill, like I said, is really high, as is her trade skill, so that helps. Like I said, she's part of the Tarpai clan. Her father is Manteos. She has 3 traits, close-fisted, which is generosity -1, honest, which is honor 1, and merciful, which is mercy 1. So Sora takes the number 1 best spot for being a steward or governor in the game for a wife. So if you want to marry an imperial woman and you want her to govern settlements for you, Sora is the best option. So that is all for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it useful, but we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.